Hi, this is Marvelyn Brown with Word Business Services, where we help online marketers get results. So, today we're going to be looking at a simple three-step process that you can use to reach more of your ideal prospects. Now, this simple process is going to help you increase traffic, attract more prospects to your business, and capture more leads. Now, the way you're going to do this, you're going to actually be able to jumpstart your online business. Whether you've been in business for a while or whether you're just starting out, you are going to be able to get so much information about the things that you need to do, the areas that you need to focus on to have a thriving online business. We've created an ebook, and it's actually a combination ebook and workbook that is going to walk you through the simple process that you need to take, that you need to go through so that you can, do these things that we've talked about. Once you start zeroing in and focusing on the areas that you need to focus on, you're going to see an increase in your engagement and in your business. So let's go through this simple three-step process. So now you've probably seen some of this stuff before. You've probably heard people talk about identifying your ideal prospects. But have you really done it? Have you actually sat down and written down, documented who you want to sell products and services to? So for example, if you have physical products that you're selling, who are going to be the best candidates for those products that you're selling? If you're a consultant, for example, and you're selling services, who are the people that you really like working with versus the people that are just an absolute nightmare for you when you try to work with them? So you want to think about those kinds of things. What is going to be the customer that you feel will bring in, or the set of customers that you feel will bring in the most revenue to your business? Those are the folks that you want to focus on. Now, the thing that a lot of people do when they start their online business is that they think about the fact that they love their products, they think they're great, and they think that everyone in the universe should feel the same way. And that's just not the case. When you think about your own life, when you think about how you buy products and services, think about all the things that are out there. There are things that you like, there are things that you don't like. You may like a certain product, but you want it at a certain quality level, or you like it in a certain color, or you like it because it does a certain thing that really helps you be more productive, or it makes your life better in some way. So those are the same things that your ideal prospects or your customers or the people on your social media sites, for example, that's the same way that they feel. They don't necessarily want everything that's on the market the same way you don't want everything that's on the market. So don't feel offended or taken aback if, Aunt Jean doesn't like your product, or Aunt Jean doesn't want to take part in your business opportunity. That just means that that's not something that Aunt Jean is interested in at this point. However, just because Aunt Jean isn't interested doesn't mean that there aren't people out there right now who are searching for, your product, your service, your opportunity, whatever. So that's what you have to do as a business person. You have to find those folks and you have to make a connection. And so this simple three-step process is going to help you to do that. So you want to start out identifying your ideal prospects. Then number two, you want to describe your products and services. So you want to do a really good job of describing your products and services. And then you want to match those products and services with the challenges that you identified in step one. So the ebook and the workbook together are going to help you start thinking about this process, and it's going to help you in terms of the workbook will give you spaces where you can actually write out, answers to very specific questions about each step of this process. So that workbook is going to walk you through everything you need to answer all of these questions. And it's going to also help you to make the connection between your products and your ideal prospects. because the more you leave it up to your ideal prospects to figure out how your products and services can help them, the fewer sales you're going to have. When you start zeroing in your marketing materials and your advertising to make it crystal clear to your ideal prospects how you can help them, they're going to start, flocking to your site. They're going to be clicking on your social media posts. They're going to be buying your products and services because everyone wants help solving their problems. So the more you can do that, the better your business is going to be. And this workbook is going to help you get there. So now to further elaborate, the workbook is going to help you get clarity on how your products are going to help your ideal prospects. It's also going to give you the ability to better promote your products and services to them and make your website visitors convert your website visitors into leads. And then once they become a lead, then the next phase will be for you to convert them into customers. So then, secondly, this workbook is going to give you access to free resources that will help you create better written content, better video content, and specifically help you to improve your headlines. So, think about that. And I've done some actual videos on headlines and why it's so important for you to write great headlines. So when you go through the workbook, in the back, it's going to list all of the resources that I just talked about. And you're actually, once you click on the resources that have to do with headlines, it's going to become crystal clear to you why headlines are the doorway to your prospects world. So if your prospects are not letting you in, you're standing out there knocking on the door, you want to get into your prospects world. If they're not letting you in, it's probably because of your headlines. So you want to definitely tap into that resource when you get your workbook. The workbook is also going to help you make a connection with your ideal prospects because once you go through that simple three-step process, you're going to know how to speak their language. You're going to know what their challenges are. You're going to know how your products are going to meet that challenge or solve that problem, or help them improve their lives in some way. So, in addition to the workbook, you're also going to get the following free bonuses. So, you're going to get a landing page cheat sheet that will show you all the components you need to have on your landing pages. It's also going to give you the customer buying process. So that's going to be great when you start thinking about, and the workbook kind of walks you through some of the triggers that might motivate your ideal prospects to buy your products or services. You may even have products and services that are cyclical. So maybe they are bought more during the summer months, or maybe they're bought more during the winter months, or maybe they're bought more during a holiday season or during an emergency that your ideal prospects might have. So those are some of the things that this will help you with. You're also going to get a list of buyer specific keywords. So buyer specific keywords are things that the terms that customers normally use, or prospects use rather, when they're in the buying mood. When they're in a buying mood and they're actively searching for products and services, we're going to give you a list of some of the keywords that they will be using, and you can incorporate those into your marketing materials as well, so that they will be apparent when your ideal prospects are ready to buy. All you do is just kind of fill in some of these keywords with the information that you get from the three-step process. And then last but not least, as a bonus, you're going to also get headline templates. So these templates are basically, the headline is already written. All you do is just fill in the blank with information specific to your particular business. So these are proven headline templates, and all you do is fill in the blank. So that will also give you great insight on how to write great headlines. So you're going to get all of that when you download your free ebook slash workbook. And then that's going to, all of this together is really going to help you zero in on your ideal prospects. And you don't want to make the mistakes that a lot of people make. And, we talk about that in the first part of the ebook. Focusing in on the wrong thing, you can stay focused on the wrong thing forever and continue to, kind of spin your wheels. Or you can focus on the right thing and really start to see results. So now here is where you go to get your free download and your bonuses. It's basically inawordservices.com/prospects. And this is going to be in a PDF document that you can download. You can print it off and then maybe open your favorite word processing program like Word, and just go through, answer all of the questions. And it's just going to walk you through a series of questions under each um, step of the three-step process. So you're going to focus first on your ideal prospects. Then secondly, it'll ask you a series of questions about your products. And what I would also recommend, I know that a lot of people sell tons of products. So you might be selling 20 products. Don't try to focus in on all 20 products at once. Focus on one product. And I would also recommend, if you haven't already done so, I would order that one product, get it in your hands, look at the product packaging, take pictures, look at the ingredients. If you're selling a product that, has ingredients, look at those ingredients, learn as much as possible about those ingredients, use the product, become a product of the product, as they say. Use the product, write reviews about the product, document your journey with that product, and really, start telling a story. People love stories. They love to hear about experiences. They also want to know results. So, how does this product feel when you, for example, if it's a skincare product, when you put that skincare product on your skin, how does it make you feel? Um, how quickly did it take, how long did it take before you started seeing results? um, what were some of the things you didn't like about it? And people want to hear that as well. If this product is something that really gives you great results, you want to talk about that, but you also want to talk about the things that you might not like as much. So those are the kinds of things that people want to know. They want an honest assessment of your product. And then when you start getting customers, you want to also ask them for testimonials. Ask them to document their journey and send that information to you. And of course, you want to give them some incentive for doing that, like free products or free information, relative to what industry they're in. You want to give them some kind of an incentive or some kind of reward for giving you that testimonial. So anyway, I hope you've gotten value from this video. And if so, please provide comments below. And I will see you on the next video. I'm going to close this out, but go ahead and get your download and leave any comments you might have below this video. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day.